It's me, the Taskmaster's assistant, in casual clothes. Drive a Formula 3 car around the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway for 8 minutes. First senator or MP to finish wins. Your time starts when the clip stops abruptly.
Welcome to round 4 of the 2022 Senate Race Championship. We're here for our second oval race of the season. We've gone from Dover to Charlotte, but still with me in the booth is DJ Clark. It's in the game.
I run this, and we are ready to get running here today at Charlotte. This is going to be a bonkers race, Joey, as we have seen many, many times when these open wheel cars get to running on Charlotte. That means it's going to be a pack race, and if we get even the merest of bobbles out of these cars, we could see many, many open wheelers up into the air.
Well, as we navigate through turns 3 and 4, you can see the grid on the side of your screen there. Lummis Patel, the front row. Pretty Patel, she's actually been having a quietly good season. She's 8th in the championship. Cynthia Lummis hasn't been able to one up her win at Oran Park, but maybe this is going to be her second win of the season. 50 points back in the championship. She's got to start moving now, and this is as good of a chance as any. The green flag is out at Charlotte.
It is indeed, everybody, pretty much 2 by 2 as we start off. A little bit of jink there as they make their way through the quad oval for the first time. Lummis continues to leave. I think, though, that is Capito making a run down on the inside there. That low line getting a little bit caught out, and Patel getting caught out with it.
Shelley Moore Capito, the West Virginia senator who isn't really in the news. We always see Joe Manchin in the news, but Shelley Moore Capito trying to make a name of her own as the other senator for West Virginia. She goes to the lead. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide behind with Lee and Rounds and Patel on the top.
And Mike Lee looking very, very squirrely there as opposed to his normal conservative values. He is all over the place right now, trying to hold that car down 3 wide. Wow, these guys are getting close.
John Hoven sent it down there to the bottom to get past your home senator, DJ Alex Padilla. John Hoven, he was a little bit conservative at Dover. He wasn't making these aggressive moves to get up to the front, but I think he's realized he's so many points back in the championship, he can't afford to sit back and relax.
No, I think John Hoven's taken a book out of Lyndon Bain Johnson's way of running in the Senate, and that is go like a bull in a china shop. Just push your way forward. There you see up on the high side there trying to work his way around, but Hoven now trying a little bit of a middle lane, a little indecisiveness there, trying to run in between that low and middle lane.
And if you're wondering why you only see about 10 cars on your screen, that's because Roger Wicker started in the middle of the field, and he's been such a doorstop that he has basically made the other 25 drivers in the field lose the draft. They're their own pack. So this is the battle for 12th and on. Richard Shelby leads this second pack, and this is terrible for Brian Schatz because he had that bad draw already, and this means he can't finish any higher than 12th unless things go terribly wrong up front, and things are going terribly unwrong for John Hoven. You see it on the ticker. John Hoven's your new leader.
He is indeed. Ben Sass and John Thune trying to work their way back around there. Thune's had some runs of bad luck here, but he's still got his name in title contention, trying to hold it up there on that high side, but it's not exactly working out. Ben Sass now tries to dive his way down to the inside of John Hoven. They're going to go side by side through the quad oval. I think this could favor a little bit as that's Hoven pushed way high.
Thune and Reed side by side. Where have we seen this before? Looks like they're not going to get into each other just yet, but they're playing with fire. Thune's trying to squeeze Reed down there to the bottom. It's been a rivalry after what happened at Dover. Ben Sass takes the high line, though, and that's going to make him fall back just like Hoven did. Pretty Patel, John Thune, Jack Reed are all going to go straight through him.
They are indeed. That super high line not looking like it's paying out here in the early stages of this race, but still, Pretty Patel tried to make it work. Excuse me, that was Jack Reed that tried to make it work up on that high side. Sass along with him, and I do see Hoven as well. That's the number 3, though. That's Cynthia Lummis trying to poke her nose in there. They're almost 4 wide as they dive into 3.
I think those wheels nearly intersected on the cars of Shelley Moore Capito and Cynthia Lummis. That was wild down the back straight. They are leaving nothing to the imagination. They're leaving no room for each other. looks like we're going to calm down just a little bit for a moment as we're 2 by 2. But as I say that, Alex Padilla, he's coming back, and here's a look at the second pack again. Looks like Kirsten Gillibrand is trying to lead this one, and she gets down to the bottom. She will likely take the lead of this second pack, but unfortunately for her, that means it's only going to be 12th.
Exactly, and Gillibrand obviously mounted an unsuccessful presidential campaign back in 2020, but a very, very large proponent of women's rights across the board. A good senator there who took over Hillary Rodham's Clinton's seat in that New York delegation, trying to make her way forward there, but it looks like Crapo is the one holding everybody up at this point.
Yeah, Mike Crapo, a little bit of a doorstop here, but up front, John Thune just opened the door to the bottom. Alex Padilla, he's coming through, it looks like. And yes, he is, down to the bottom. Alex Padilla, the senator for California, who wasn't actually elected to the Senate. Kamala Harris had Padilla's seat, but she obviously became the vice president. She was chosen by Joe Biden, and they needed to fill that seat, so Gavin Newsom chose the Secretary of State of California, Alex Padilla. He's a senator, and now he's a leader.
He is indeed, but I don't know for how long, because Mike Lee is looking very aggressive down in that low line. Forced Padilla a little bit high, but Padilla able to hold on, representing that California Bear quite well. A little bit of a wiggle, though, and again, Lee is able to get to that low side. Almost contact there with the 22 of Padilla, but they're going to be side by side coming out of turn 4.
Mike Lee in the funky pink car is going to lead this lap as we start lap number 10. Oh my goodness, these guys are playing with fire through the trial board. They're getting so close, but it hasn't been terrible. I'm not worried about them because they've been racing so well. They're racing so close, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a wreck anytime soon as Mike Lee now streaks away. And who's that behind Lee? Who else but John Hoven? He's taking a little bit of a supporting role in the back of this pack for a while, but I think now he thinks it's my time to move.
And there's Chucky Schumer up on the high side as well, trying to make something work. We ride on board with John Hoven right now. Hoven just trying to find anything to get by that funky pink machine of Mike Lee, but it's not working at the moment. Hoven goes up high again. That didn't work for him before, but he tried it once again. That's going to allow for John Thune to slot his way up into second.
It is strange to see John Hoven making these errors, making these mistakes. He's so effective. He was unbeaten in the 2021 Senate race, and he hasn't finished higher than 7th in the 2022 Senate Race Championship. So I don't know what's going on with the senator from North Dakota, but these have not been the drives of a champion. Meanwhile, Mike Lee is doing rather incredible. He's led the last 3 laps or so, and a fact about Mike Lee, you know where he is in the championship? 33rd. He's only scored 2 more points than Roger Wicker, who scored the bare minimum. So this would be a huge turnaround for Mike Lee.
It would indeed. The senior senator from Utah doing a great job to represent his home state here, holding it out. That is Shelly Moore Capito able to get her way up forward as well. I see Mike Round starting to poke his nose in there. This is just an ever-changing order here up front. With the exception of Mike Lee leading this race, I don't know where this is all going to lay out.
Lee's got to be careful because we've seen basically every time someone has gotten out front here, they've lost the lead after making one small mistake. And I think Lee might have just made that mistake. He leaves the door open for his fellow Republican Mike, and Mike Rounds in the less funky pink car now just drives straight through him. Oh, no, they don't. They make contact in the tri-oval. Coming down the tri-oval, Mike Rounds and Mike Lee come together. That is massive. And Cynthia Lummis takes the lead.
Oh my goodness, that completely takes out the Mike and Mike battle that we were looking at. So Cynthia Lummis now has a gap of about 0.8 of a second over the rest of the field. There you can see that second pack. Oh, that second pack got caught out by a big time.
And that's the 2 Utah senators together. You saw Mitt Romney there as well. Oh, dearie me, that's going to be a replay for the ages there. Lee and Rounds just racing too close, and they finally came to blows. Bad luck for them too, but Cynthia Lummis is going to take the white flag. She's got nobody near her out of nowhere. She started on pole, but did you predict that she was going to win this thing? I don't think anybody did.
No, I certainly didn't. My pick got caught out a little bit of that, and Chuck Schumer all the way down into 11th position right now, but you can see just that lead that Lummis is able to hold out quite well. Good battle for second, though, between Thune, Moore Capito, and Pretty Patel.
But through the final corner, the senator from Wyoming, elected in 2020, she's going to win 2 races so far in 2022. Cynthia Lummis wins at Charlotte John Thune second, Capito third, Patel a remarkable fourth, and Ben Cardin, the 2020 champion, goes from 28th to 5th, proving that he's still got that oval prowess. And as the rest of the field slots in, John Hoven brings it home in 12th only, and Brian Schatz 15th. So this was Hoven's chance to really make up some ground on Schatz, and unfortunately that accident really screwed him over.
Yeah, it certainly did. This is going to massively change up that championship order. Cynthia Lummis is going to find herself on the positive side of things. Remember, going into this, she was a little bit down the order, so we're going to have to see the biggest gainer, I think, out of that, besides Lummis herself, Chuck Schumer. Even though he did come home in 11th, he still was able to gain a few places on Brian Schatz, and so that'll certainly help him.
Well, let's take a look at the most dramatic moment of the race. Mike Lee and Mike Rounds, like you said, the Mike and Mike show, the two pink cars.
Yeah, there you can see the 10 and the 19. They come out of the corner. Oh, looked like there that the 10 just drifted up a little bit. Big damage. You can see that tire flailing around, thankfully held on by the tire tether. And then that whole second pack getting checked up behind.
Yeah, the Senate parking lot back there. I don't know. Would you put the blame on Lee or Rounds there? I would put the blame on Lee. It looked like he came down a little bit and kind of pit maneuvered him.
You know, I've got to say, and I hate to take this cop out, I think that's a racing incident there, Joey, that one came up, one came down.
We will submit this to the Senate Rules Committee, and they'll make a judgment. Well, we might have to impeach one of these guys, but let's look at it one more time. This is one for the highlight reel. Ooh, there.
Oh.
That is massive.
Yeah, that's a big ouchie.
Very large oof for the Mikes, but we're going to calculate the points. We're going to calculate how terrible this is for the two Mikes, and we'll be right back. All right, the championship points after possibly the most dramatic race of the Senate race so far. Brian Schatz hangs on to his lead, but it's only 15 points over Cynthia Lummis now as she wins her second race. Schumer in third, but other than that, it's still a 3-horse race at the top, and Hoven's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, exactly. I think really coming down into these last couple of races, Joey, it's going to be between Schatz, Lummis, and Schumer. Obviously, Jack Reed and Diane Abbott, as well as Pretty Patel, have an outside chance, but I'm really going to put those three leading contenders to be the ones to watch out for.
And if you want to know how bad that was for Mike Lee, he was third to last in the championship. He's now dead last in the championship. The driver of the number 10 car. So he's a highly ranked senator. He has not had a very good season. He's in 35th in the championship. We'll see if he can turn that around. We got 2 races to go. We'll be back next time. Daytona Road Course, night race, final road course of the season. Be there or else. Debbie Stabenow finished 13th. Incredible.
Get it, Debbie.